Hey guys, so it's been a long time since I did a YouTube video, I believe. Last time I did a YouTube video and actually posted it was New Year's. That was my New Year's resolution, which I haven't really gone through any of that. Sorry. So, so I actually have a theme for this video, and it is all the books and the plays I have DNF'd. DNF means did not finish, and there are more. No, there are about a few books that I did not um, finish, and then there are lesser plays that I did not finish. Most of these were like reading for like the summer from a school, and then one of them was actually while I was in school when I was home school when I had a few of these books, and I just didn't. I just skimmed through the book and just used that as my guide before I took the test. So I'm gonna start. Um, these books are I did not like these books in or plays. They were just not me. Either they were just too boring or they didn't really catch my attention all that much. A few of these actually did see the movie for, and actually prefer the movie sometimes over the book, or neither of them at all. So if you like these books, great, more power to you. I just didn't like them, so please don't hate me in the comments. The first one is a book called Stranded. This was actually the first book I had for high school summer reading, and it stunk. I could only get past like maybe chapter 9. Maybe I was struggling through it. So the premise, as much as I can remember, is that these kids and one of the kids' uncles or something are stranded on this island, and they have to try to find a way back home. This book is really, really boring. It's actually the first books I've actually DNF'd even before I heard the term DNF, and it just wasn't. It just wasn't good. I no longer have that. I lost it after my sister read it, and she actually kind of enjoyed it, but saw how I could not enjoy it myself. So I lost that. I will never pick it up again. The next one is a really popular book, and it's gonna get me some hate in the comments. And actually, I did watch part of the movie, and I didn't even really get into the movie that much. And I don't have this anymore because we had to put it back with the summer reading. The next year I had it, and that is the Divergent. Don't like Divergent. It was kind of like the same reasons why I didn't like Stranded. It was just too boring. It was too complicated for being a dystopian book. It was. It just seemed too. It just seemed too not too organized. That's not the right word. It was too. It was Veronica Roth's writing. It was more like it was telling you how structural it was without really showing you, if you know what I mean. That's how I saw it as. I haven't read this book since 7th grade. I want to say 7th grade, or 7th or 8th grade. I forget which. But like I got past page 9. I don't know what it is about the number 9. I just am like Divergent. A lot of my friends did. A lot of them. I was one of the fair few that lied at how many chapters I got through. I didn't even get through the first chapter. It was so boring. And so, uh, next one. This one I read most recently as I just graduated high school. It was actually the third quarter where we kind of we mostly watched the movie, but we also read a few pages of the book. This movie I didn't like for the same reasons why I don't like the book, and that is Jane Eyre. Let me make one thing clear. Just because I don't like classic does not mean I don't like all classics. No one has ever said that I don't like all classics because I don't like one. That's not what I'm trying to prevent someone from saying that. I'm trying to prevent someone from saying that just because I don't like one classic, I don't like all the classics. I like Pride and Prejudice. I kind of like Macbeth, even though it's more, I almost said that I like Macbeth than the actual premise of this story. Um, well, I did not like Beowulf. Also, another one I probably should have put that. Right, it's going to be like a slash Jane Eyre and Beowulf. Okay. No, Jane Eyre. I didn't like this movie or book because the characters are just too mean to her for no given reason whatsoever. Even though there was this one reason why the aunt was mean to her, even though I told you on that. Oh, she don't have reason. But anyway, I didn't like how kind of sudden she had gotten. I don't know if sudden is the right word for it. She remember the emotion at the ending of the newish True Grit movie. How Maddie was kind of this hard feeling, hard looking person. That's kind of the same feeling that I had when I watched the movie when Mia Alice from the Tim Burton movie when she played Jane. It kind of had the same feeling that I had when I watched True Grit with Haley Steinfeld, and it wasn't it was just too harsh. And Beowulf, because we just now put it in there. It just wasn't. It just seemed too narcissistic. The character was just too narcissistic for my liking. And actually, I believe that Beowulf is actually the hardest. I don't know. Story that high school and or college reader has to analyze. My high school in English class, British lit, we had to we didn't have to analyze it per se, but it was a little bit of an analyzation with the themes. It's just another thing I'll get on like another YouTube video, which don't get the themes, but whatever. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. Beowulf, yeah, wasn't interesting. All right, number 4. Now this one I read. I had to read. I didn't finish it. I was okay. Back up. Okay, Beowulf. I did not finish the story, even though we saw in English class. We watched a video about Beowulf, but after that, after we went on, I never continued to read the stories. That's why I shelved it with a DNF. The same thing with Jane Eyre. We watched the movie after we read a few pages of the book, but both of them never moved me to read the rest of them. The rest of it. Right, now back to number 4. The Chronicles of Narnia. Again, another book that I had to read both in 6th grade, 6th or 7th grade, and then in 12th grade. 6th grade is in 7th grade. Most of my middle school and part of high school life, I was homeschooled because of my stuttering. Which, by the way, parents never homeschool your kids, especially if they're going to be in middle school and high school. Take a few grades, take them out, put them to actual school, take them out, homeschool them again if you have to. Anyway, 6th and 7th grade, Chronicles of Narnia. I had the actual book. Now, I read this book, kind of. I read it up to the part where Aslan is killed. After that, I was like, I don't know this book. It wasn't that it was too much. It was just not as interesting as I hoped it to be. Yeah. Yeah. This wasn't as interesting. And in 12th grade, we didn't actually read it. We talked about it a little bit, but we read the Screwtape letters instead. But we watched the Narnia story. I went to a Christian high school. We watched the Narnia movie, which I actually preferred that over the book any day. Not any day, but you know what I mean. So, yeah, Narnia just wasn't as interesting, and that's why I will not finish it. Next is a play. The first play in this list. I had to read this play in 7th grade. It was called The Glass Menagerie, also a classic in the theater world. And I have a feeling as a theater major that I will probably be DNFing a lot of plays after we're done studying it for the session. Anyway, yeah, The Glass Menagerie. The Glass Menagerie. It's just too boring. The memories of this guy about his, I think it was neurotic mom or something like that, and his mentally disabled sister wasn't interesting. Not only was it interesting, it was boring. And English teachers, as a theater person, I love to read out scene work, but you have to explain the scene to high schoolers, to middle schoolers. If if it's something heavy like the glass menagerie, you have to explain the scenes, or the students will just get confused and they will just end up continually not caring. But anyway, that's not what this rant. This rant. It's not what this video is about. The glass menagerie. Yes, that's what my teacher did. She, as much as I can remember, she didn't really explain it. She just had us read out the lines and read as we were going, and I was just so confused. And so that's why I didn't like it. I was confused. It was interesting, and it was boring. Next, number 6, Twelfth Night. Twelfth Night. I watched the Amanda's. Hold on a minute. Amanda Bynes. Is it Amanda Bynes? Amanda Bynes. Movie. I forgot it was. Oh my gosh. Okay. Second, I have to look this up because I totally forgot. She's the man. She's the Man is a movie based on Twelfth Night, and I actually like that movie a lot, even though it's really dumb. But the play itself, I was not amazed with. That is not a sponsorship. Yeah, 12th Night, it still got my attention. It was funny, it just didn't grab my attention. And as much as I love Romeo and Juliet, it just wasn't good. Not that it wasn't good, it wasn't so interesting that I wanted to keep to read it over and over and over and over and over again after we finished reading it for school, which I had to do for either 8th or 9th grade, I forget which. Next, number 7 is the Kingdom Keepers series. This series by Billy Pearson. I actually went through at least 3.5 of the books, and I think the 5 book or 6 book or 7 books series. And for some reason, I lost interest. After the second book, where one of the characters is a fairy or something, and like their sisters, and so they're both fairies, which I really thought just came out of nowhere. Yeah, the Kingdom Keepers series is about these teens that work at Disney, and they're pretty much monitored, I would say, by this Imagineer named Wayne, who disappeared one day, and through one of the main characters' dreams, I guess I think it was one of his dreams. It was they find out that after all of the parks close, the park comes to life, including the villains, and all of the villains try to take over Disneyland at Disney World at night. Yeah, it's the series actually is really fun. It's really fun and it's interesting. The first book had me awake all night as I was trying to finish reading it because I was just so excited to know what happened next. The sequel kind of had sequelitis where it knew what it wanted to be, but it didn't know where it wanted to be, and so this is where the very thing came in. So I was just like, okay, weird. The third one, which I partially stopped reading, one because it had water damage and I couldn't finish reading it because all of the words got messed up. And two, by like I think chapter 6 or something like that, or chapter 8, something like that, it completely lost me. Completely lost me, and I was actually really upset with myself because I am still upset with myself because there is something in me where I want to finish the whole series, but it's just something about it that made it turn the wrong way, and I don't want to read that part, and I don't know where in the books, in the rest of books, in the rest of the books, I would run into that. So that's why I DNF'd it. I just lost interest. The last one is one that I'm currently struggling to read now, and I'm partially more towards just DNFing the whole thing. And this is the sequel to the other Boleyn Girl by Philippa Gregory. This one is called the Boleyn Inheritance. This one is after Queen Anne Boleyn, the second wife to Henry VIII, is beheaded for untrue charges, essentially. And this book covers these three the three or four, I forget which. Gosh, it's been a while. I think it's four. It's either 3 or it's 4. I forget which right now. But it goes through, as I know for a fact, Jane Rochford was the cousin of Queen and a spy like for her uncle, Sir Thomas Boleyn? Thomas. The second one is Queen Anne, the second Queen Anne of Cleves, and her journey in the short marriage to Henry. I want to say that Jane is also in this, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't really think so. I think it comes off. I think this book starts right after Jane Seymour dies. It does. I believe so. I believe it does. Like that. I can't remember. So I'm just going to say 4 with a question mark with the third one. Then the last one, which one I really despise, is Catherine Howard, which is the wife that came after Queen Anne of Cleves. The reason why I DNF this book, I'm partially DNFing this book, is because it's too slow. It's too slow. It's not like the first one where, even though it had a lot of slow and deep moments, it was still intriguing enough to keep going. You still wanted to know what happened. When you're balancing you're balancing characters in one book, you have to keep going. You have to keep it fresh, which is what fresh. You have to keep it interesting. Which is why I like Game of Thrones. Where is it? I don't feel like taking the monster of a book down. That's why I like Game of Thrones, the TV show, and the book so much, because George R. Martin balances the characters in equal length and equal personalities. Excuse me. But because this is a historical fiction, you don't really know how the true Jane or the true other Jane or the true Anne or how the true Catherine Howard felt, because you obviously were not there to see how they really thrived, to see how they really lived. And I think that's like one of the few pushbacks with historical fiction, which one, it's fiction, obviously, and two, it's kind of like fan fiction with more historical accuracies as much as you can, because that's how I think of it. Mostly historical accurate fan fiction between the real characters. Take that as you will. Take that as confusing as you will. Try to analysis size that as you will. Yeah, the Boleyn Inheritance though, I think the one thing that really does grind my gears so much that I have to skip the chapter. The whole chapter is with Catherine Howard. She is just a little absent-minded, little googly-eyed, little bubbly-minded little teenager, and it's so annoying. She was annoying in the Tudors show too. She was annoying there, and I really wondered if she was actually that annoying in real life. Sure, she's like what, 16, 16, I think, 15 or something like that, and she got her head chopped off because she actually loved someone else other than the king. Which, yeah, you got married to him, you can't do that. That's how that's how the second wife got killed, even though that was actually false evidence. So yeah, the Boleyn Inheritance. Catherine Howard and Whiny, and it just doesn't really balance the characters well. I will say this: I will still continue reading Philippa Gregory's books, because I am really intrigued on what other historical people that she's written about, and I really wonder how she portrays them in her books. I just wasn't really fond of this one. Let me think. Anything else that I actually DNF'd? No. Alright, so that's what I have for you guys today. Maybe next video will be all the books that I did finish. It's gonna be a heck of a list, I think, anyway. Alright guys, thank you for listening. Please subscribe down below, leave positive comments. Bye.